we're going to talk about some kit now, and then we're going to move on to Jules to talk about the room in which your kit sits and how to make sure it's perfect, especially for your display. But first of all, the TV that is sat behind me right now, that is 65-inch LG C2. We purchased this, so this is a retail sample. It was purchased from a high street retailer. Reason for that is review samples can be limited in numbers, and you can be on a list and wait a while for a TV to come through. But the other thing is that we like to dip into the market now again and just check that there's no golden samples, and there hasn't been any golden samples for a number of years now, because most reviewers worth the salt do measure, do take a great deal of attention to the picture quality and so on. And a lot of people who write technical reviews are also calibrators, like ourselves here. So we do get to see things in the wild as well, especially Jules gets to see things in the wild as well. And we can usually tell if there was something like a golden sample. So that's why we went out and bought one. The other reason is this is going to stick around for a while. It's probably going to stick around until the C3 comes out, because I have no doubt that that'll be one of the comparisons that we do in the future. So have I measured this? No. Have I calibrated it yet? Nope. I've lived with it for a week. Just out of the box settings, set it up with WebOS on my network, made sure all the apps are up to date, made sure they're all working, and we basically used it as a living room TV for a week, just to see how it beds in, because it's no point measuring it and doing all your testing brand new out of the box. You got to let these things run in a little bit, especially with it being a retail sample. It hadn't been used before. I had the pleasure of taking the film off the front of the screen. It's nice on a mobile phone when it's a 65-inch screen. It's so nice when you just take that off there. So yeah, brand new out of the box. There is a video up there of me unpacking the TV and showing you what's what in there. New stand, which is really nice. It is incredibly light this year. If you have a C1 from last year, compared to that, it is really light. It's because they're using new composite materials to build the thing. The stand's made of the same materials. It's really light. But once you screw it all together, and it's really dead simple to screw it all together and get up and running, really sturdy, really nice. It is a step up from the C1. And again, I haven't done any measurements with it. Hasn't been calibrated. I've just been running it in filmmaker mode, and I can tell straight away there is a big improvement over the C1. The main big improvement is not in the highlights. It's what we discussed last time on the podcast. It's what's happening in the shadows, and that is that LG have managed to get the new Gen 5 Alpha 9 processor able to get out of black properly, without dither, without using too much black crush to cover up any flashing or whatever. It comes out of black properly now. There is bags of shadow detail on show, as it should be, in the lower reaches of the picture. So there's no crushed blacks going on. This is with SDR and HDR content. It looks phenomenal in that respect. And I'm sure Jules will have some comments with this as well, but it has been an Achilles heel for OLED technologies coming out of black, Jules.
Yeah. Obviously, OLED is famous for its zero black level, but they've always struggled to get out of black. It's like couch to 5K, isn't it? So it's getting off the couch, so it's been an annual problem and an annual test to see, is this year's better than last year's? Because as we said before, our eyes are tuned to see shadow detail. Evolutionary wise, that's what we see better. Yep. So for OLED not to be able to do that as well as we'd like, has been a bit of a thorn in the side of the technology. So it's great to hear that that they've managed to improve on it this year. As a C1 owner, bit pissed, but
the C series has always been LG's sweet spot. It does everything incredibly well. If you're a gamer, it is an absolute beast of a TV. It has everything on there. It does do 4K 120 at full res and all the rest of it. So it is a cracking TV. I'm going to get on to testing it this week. There will be a settings video going up this week as well, and then we'll get the full round to the full review probably next week, because I don't like to just take these things out and give you a verdict straight away. We like to actually test them and
Get another
review them.
catch on.
Yeah, and that takes a little bit of time.